Hey everybody, Charlie Stevens here. Thanks again for joining me for another guitar lesson. Alright, I got a super quick, super easy lesson for you today. So recently we've learned a few new chords and we've also learned about some slash notation. Okay, so in this example, we see a little bit of a different way the slash notation will sometimes look, so you're prepared for that. To me, this really reminds me of drum notation, where there's just one line, unlike our staff, of course, which has 5 lines, which would tell us which pitches to play. In slash notation, or if we were playing it on drums, we wouldn't really need to know what note to play necessarily. Sometimes they have different lines to indicate which drums they're supposed to play. So drum notation is a little bit more involved than this, so I don't want to make too many parallels to it, but it does look pretty similar here to what we would see in percussion. Anyhow, in this example, we have just a little bit of a fun thing to play with some of the new chords we've learned. So it uses G, and I'm using just the one finger version, G7, one finger version of that also, C, easy one finger version of that. It's also going to use D. This is the cowboy chord D, we call it, the regular D. D7, also the regular D, D7. Back to our easy G, back to our easy C, back to our easy G again, okay? So I just thought this was just a fun little progression where we could take all these chords and make them sound nice together. So the reason I showed you these chords is because they're easy and they're on the strings that we're learning. We're sort of systematically learning where the notes of our where the notes in open position are, string by string, right? So we picked these ones because they were kind of on the strings that we were learning, and now I've just kind of arranged them in a way that sounds a little bit musical. And we're also going to learn a little bit about this slash notation. So I've indicated basically where you're supposed to strum for all of these. Each place there's a slash. They also look like a quarter note. We know we're supposed to strike the string when we see a quarter note usually, right? It means it's supposed to be on the beat. So that's what these are. There's a G written above the first measure, and then we can see there's 4 quarter note slashes. That means I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and strum for each one of those, okay? And now this example uses all quarter notes until the very end, where it's a whole note on G. Here we go. Let's try it together. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, that was example number 1. Okay, now example number 2, we're going to hear how the same thing would sound if we used all half notes. Okay, let's give that a try. Example number 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, so that one was a little bit prettier maybe. That would suit sort of a different setting if we were backing up a singer. The second example would probably be a little bit more appropriate because it would give them a little more space. The other one is a little bit too repetitive and takes up a little bit too much space and might interfere with what a singer's doing. Although really, I think somewhere in between those examples would be good, because the second one, sometimes it felt a little too spacious, and if I were singing to that, I might want to feel a little more supported with a few more strums. So we'll talk about how to add more strums and to do all sorts of things like that down the road. But I just want to develop a way that we can communicate using these symbols and these rhythmic slashes and chord symbols and stuff like that. Also, remember, the benefit of these slashes is you don't have to play these chords like I am. If you've already learned maybe this G, and this G7, and this C, and this D, well, this is the same D we were playing, huh? But maybe you're learning this one. You're working on this and this D7. Okay, so you do have options. That's the cool thing about this slash notation. In this one, we don't even see what the notes are. I did give you little chord diagram boxes in the top of the document. If you want to download that from my website, charliestevensmusic.com, you can find all these musical examples there for free download. So you can see the voicings that I'm using in the video. But again, the beauty of the slash notation is sort of your choice. Okay? Alright, well thank you so much for watching this lesson. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you in the next video.